Hey David, how you doing?
Doing great, Hugh. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to be on the show. David, I was very interested and excited to hear about you and your company. Tell us a little bit about security.
Sure. So we are Security Technology Corporation based in Houston, Texas, and we have reinvented cybersecurity by combining software's logic and hardware's physics to provide revolutionary zero right solutions that provide complete protection to your data or systems against malware, ransomware, and other web-borne threats.
Wow, wow, that seems very, very techy and innovative.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but the short answer is just we actually stop ransomware and malware.
Okay, all right. Now, David, you've seen there's been so much data breaches. Um, as I've seen, I read an article recently that says that no one's 100% protected in the world today, because even though you might personally be careful of how you do your data and your security, there are other organizations, government, municipalities, other companies that still have access to your data, even your medical records, and they might not be as protected as for me as an individual that I am. Why is that?
Yeah, why? It's a great question, Hugh. Why is that? It 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 really goes to the core of what's going on. All cybersecurity solutions on the market today are software based. What is software? Software is logic. Logic is math. No matter what algorithm you come up with, no matter what you can think of, it can be busted. Someone knows calculus, they can bust it. So the problem is there are also 560,000 new malwares created every single day.
Wow.
So software can't possibly keep up with the that many malwares because the way the software works is a filtration system,
Mm.
meaning they identify a malware, and if they have identified it, they can stop it. But if they haven't identified it, they can't stop it. So because there's so many new ones all the time, and the software has to constantly be updated because of that. They just can't keep up. It's literally impossible.
Wow. Yeah, I know one of the problems that everybody has, and I think most consumers don't realize, is just because you have the software and you hear it, oh, we're just updating now with the newest malware or virus or whatever that's coming out, it doesn't actually mean it's 100% updated. It might still be a week or 2 weeks old, which may cover a high percentage, but like you said, there's new ones coming out every day. You
Right, or
might
a
get a
month
new
old or
one and you're
6
done.
weeks old, right, exactly, and everybody's software has a different list. So one person's software might stop something, but another person's software might not.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, we know the problem. We know everybody has it, and it's becoming more and more and more prevalent. How can anybody protect themselves personally, professionally, institutionally? Is there a solution? Is there hope?
Well, there is a solution, and we'll get to that in a second. That's why we exist, and that's the reason why we created this company. Uh, the but from a what can I do? The part of the issue is no matter what, we can't protect you from yourself. So for instance, a lot of the attacks are phishing, where they send you something and you click on a link and you shouldn't have clicked on the link. And the answer is, from a personal perspective, just always ask yourself before you click on anything, is this real?
Right.
And figure it out. And if it's a link in an email, well, just like from your bank, no, go to your bank website, don't click the link. uh,
Right. Right.
and
I mean, you
and
see them all the time.
right,
They tell you, we'll never ask for your password, or we'll never do this, because it becomes a security breach.
right. And then from a business perspective, which we're really much more on the business side than the personal side, is where people are going is what's called segmentation or micro segmentation, where you separate data into various areas so that you can protect it better. So I'm going to separate, this is data that is crucial to my organization. I need to make sure I've got the absolute best protection for that. Well, maybe there's some stuff that you use day to day. Okay, I'm okay sticking that in OneDrive or Dropbox or Google Docs, and they're great tools. They're not completely secure, but from a working perspective, that makes sense. But then I've got, I'm a hospital, I have HIPAA data that I've really got to protect, or
Right.
I've got trade secrets. You've got to segment those and protect those in better ways. And that's what we have brought to the table, is a better way to protect that.
And what is that? What's better than having updated software?
Okay, so we have a product called a hard wall. And the key to that, and really the reason it is different from software is, or everything else in the market, is different in two ways. Number one, it's hardware instead of software. And so our hardware has something that's called non-flashable memory, which translated just means no one can change the way our hardware works from an external source. So you have to actually be standing right next to it. So you
You can't
lit
hack it. Hackers can't get
literally
into it,
cannot be
and
hacked. Right.
okay.
So that's number one. We take control over the situation. And then the second way it's different is really important. The way software works and all the cybersecurity, even AI, which is out there looking, the race in AI is who can find the anomalies in your network the fastest. Well, the problem is they're already anomalies, they're already in your system. So instead of identity based or filtering, trying to say, oh, I recognize this malware, I don't recognize this malware, etc., we operate on a behavior basis, meaning that, and I'll try not to get too technical here, uh, every piece of code that comes into your network has to tell the machine, what am I going to do? There's certain commands: read, write, create, delete, insert. Well, read's okay. Everything else is bad. There is no reason why anyone should be able to come into your system and change anything in an unauthorized manner. And that's what malware does. Malware has to write and execute a write command into your system, and then it latches onto your system, propagates, and does whatever it's supposed to do. So simply, our hardware looks for those codes and says, if you're going to read, great. If you're trying to write, you don't get in. So we have kind of two sides to uh, our hardware. There's a read-only side, a read-write side. To give you an example, Hugh, for instance, financial information.
Right.
Your CFO and controller, maybe those are the only two people who should ever be able to actually change your financial information. But lots of people need to see it. So everybody comes in through the read only side. They can look at it, but they can't change it. But in a normal world, if they came to a normal IP address, if you can look, you can change. With our hard wall, you can look, but you can't change. And then the CFO controller can get in through the read write side, and they can, through two-factor authentication, dedicated VPN, username, password, etc., they're the only people who can get in.
Okay. What about extracting information? Obviously, as we've spoken, the weakest link is human beings, right? Pushing
Certainly.
the wrong button, going into it. You could have the best security system in the world, but you push that one button.
Yeah, you can't protect you from yourself, right?
You're right.
The way malware and ransomware extract information is, again, they have to write into your system. They have to install something into your system that then goes through the extraction mode and sends all
Okay.
the data out. So again, our hard wall stops that because you
Okay.
can't write into the system.
I
And
got
so
you.
it protects both data and also systems like critical infrastructure. For instance, it's great for non-human systems like water plants, power plants, sewage plants. They have what they call SCADA systems. These are the systems that control all these plants. Well, there's no human being inside of that trying to get out, but
Okay.
there's lots of people who need to be able to monitor it and see what's going on. And our hardwall is really perfect for that critical infrastructure.
Okay. Well, in 30 seconds or less, David, tell us if someone wanted to, our audience wanted to contact you, find out more about your product, where would they go?
Sure. Our website is security with a Z, securitytech.com. You can go to our website. We have a 4-minute video on the website that further explains our technology, hopefully in a pretty simple way. And there's some data sheets on our products, and you can look at our website and get our information.
Yep, and there's a QR code that's going to be right there under you that everyone can go to also from their screen to go to your website. So, David, thank you so much for your time. It's truly innovative and really just an amazing system. I wish you guys the best success.
Thanks, Hugh. Really appreciate the time. And let's get out there and protect everybody.
You got it. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.